I also encourage you as we begin today's discussion, provide your feedback, and also I need your support to share today's discussion. So please make sure you give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and if you're new to our channel, I welcome you to become our next subscriber. So this is a first for all of us, what we're experiencing right now regarding physical precious metals and the prices of them. We have never experienced gold at an all-time high, along with silver being above 30, and platinum and palladium being above 1,000. This is a unique opportunity, I believe, for anyone who has not added to their position or even began a position in owning physical precious metals. Here's your opportunity. And frequently, for someone who is a client of mine, they often ask me to make them aware of when there's a buying opportunity that I like. And it seems that in the past 6 months, the response I've received is, I'm going to wait for the metal prices to go down. And they don't. Or even when they did pull back slightly, they still didn't buy. I welcome the opportunity to always share with you what I'm doing, and actually I have an example of what I've been doing here in just a second. But if you trust me, and I'm going to share with you that there's an opportunity to buy something, then please act on that and don't violate, I guess, my time by not acting on what I share with you. I'm always looking out for your best interests, and I know there's a lot of information out there right now because gold is at an all-time high, and I want to share with you what's going on in the market, if you will, from a buyer's perspective. So gold is at an all-time high. However, silver has outperformed gold this year, and that's something that's often overlooked. So the value proposition for both metals to me is very compelling, and I'll get into some politics here slightly. If you look at the price of gold right now, it's almost 2,600. And we've had it reach all-time highs about 4 times this year, and each time it's gone up all-time high, and then it's come down, which is good. There's nothing wrong with that. Actually, I think that's very healthy. I don't want to see something just go parabolic, right? So I don't want a bubble. I want to see an accretive move up. It's kind of like if you're climbing up some steps. If you climbed up a 13-story, or it's not a 13-story building, a 15-story building, right? You want to be able to take advantage of that resting spot, the landing. And so that's what we're having right now. Is we're having a couple of landings this year as we reach new highs. That's good. The question is, though, what are you doing about it? And frequently, what I see is that people buy when something's at an all-time high. Our goal, if you will, in particular, my goal, is that I want to buy low and sell high. I love gold. However, I love silver, platinum, and palladium and rhodium equally. And so the opportunity for you right now is not to sit and see where the prices go, because the hidden element in this always are the premium prices. And I share this frequently, but it seems to miss, the message doesn't resonate. Somewhere it gets missed because I'm receiving the response of, I think there's going to be a pullback. But even when there is a pullback, that individual still does not act. And in these times, whether it's an election period, but in particular right now where we are in global debt in the United States, there's no other investment I would feel more comfortable with than physical precious metals. Zero. I love resource stocks. That, however, is a speculation. Whereas when I buy physical precious metals, I am buying wealth, generational wealth. And I want to add to my position on a consistent and persistent basis. And if you noticed, I've shared that many times before, consistent and persistent. So we look at the price of gold right now. I have a question for anyone here, and that is, do you believe that irrespective of who goes into office, left or right, that the national debt will go down? The answer to that, of course, is no. Correspondingly, what have we seen? The national debt has gone up, and the prices for the metals have gone up, and they will continue to go up. So it would be prudent for you to remove the politics and realize the engine behind, in front of the wheel, if you will, is the Federal Reserve. So when the Federal Reserve continues to create more currency, it creates our national debt to balloon. And all that's happening is the price of your metals is going up. And the currency has our currency in the United States, because I know we have a global audience, I believe in the future will be replaced. And you can pick a number of players, but the logical one may be BRICS nation, the BRICS in general. That seems to be the way forward. But in my view, there will be a country that will say, we're going to back our currency with money. Notice what I said there. We're going to back our currency with money. Money is gold and silver. Your currency, if you're watching for the first time, that is what you're using for your day-to-day transactions. You're not using money when you purchase something. Now, I also want to step back as well. I get this asked frequently for someone's a first-time buyer, right? And like, hey, when I make a purchase with you, how safe and secure is my purchase? And so this is a great example. I purchase every 2 weeks. However, I came across some discretionary income and I made this purchase, but it fits in the alignment of the ratios that I use when I buy physical precious metals. But I want to share how this package looks, number one. If you notice, if you've ever sent registered mail, this is exactly how your package looks. I'm going to shake it. There's nothing here that would let someone know that this is physical precious metals. There's no ching, 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 ching. It's not there. Now, the other thing I want you to notice here is if you look closer, there's nothing that says precious metals nor Miles Franklin. And of course, I'm going to hide my address here. As Rick Rule says, when you let people know that you have precious metals, they will replace your metals with their metal, which is lead. So don't worry, when I open this package, it's also going to be repackaged and it's going to be sent to my BRINKS Depository account. So I'm going to open the package right now. It may take a second, bear with me. And as I'm speaking, as I'm opening the package, I still want to hold a conversation with you. So if you have any questions or comments, please forward them. But in response to the price of gold, what I like as well is that gold has been able to reach an all-time high while interest rates are high. Interest rates most likely will be lowered. They tend to be with a left-leaning administration to keep them in office. If you keep in mind, the way this kind of works, ladies and gentlemen, is that Keynesian economics is used by both parties. However, I can share with you 99% of my clients are not Republicans. So the left uses Keynesian economics and loves the Fed. Both parties do. And by the way, I'm neither Republican nor a Democrat, so you can throw your hate away, okay? I just use empirical evidence. And so what happens is whoever's sitting in power wants to make themselves look good and makes the population feel, and see how secure this is. It takes me a while to open it, the package. They want to make themselves appear that what their strategy is working, and that just give it some more time, that it'll work. Now, I'm not here to tell you who's going to win the election. Here's what I'm here to tell you, is that the national debt is going to continue to grow. And my way of protecting my family is, number one, physical precious metals. All right, I have one. So within the box, just so we see it here, within the box, there's another box. All right, take this guy out. So here's how the secondary box looks. And so for anyone that's new, if you want to know how safe and secure it is, and by the way, Miles Franklin, we do zero reporting. We don't record your transaction. Okay, so this is a private investment. And so here we go. I'm going to set this down for a second. All right, use some scissors here. So here's item number one. Again, it's not a big purchase. And if you're an existing client, or if you have never made a purchase, I am not here to judge you on your purchase. Who am I to judge you? I am honored to have your business, and my obligation to you is to look out for your best interest. Period. I'm not here to say, this person only bought this amount and this person bought this amount. You're equally valued in that regard. You're a client of Proven and Probable. You're a client of Miles Franklin Precious Metals Investments. And I'm so honored to have you as a client, all right? So now, here is the purchase I made. These are Mercury dimes. By the way, we have these, we've had a sale on these for quite a while now, probably 2 months. They're 310 over spot. This is the silver I'm purchasing, and you're witnessing it because this is my purchase here. So silver dimes. And then usually I purchase sovereign coins, which are minted by a government. However, these are private minted products. And if you'll look here, I have this is the 1 ounce palladium pamp. And this is the 1 ounce platinum pamp. And then I have a 1/10 ounce of gold. So let's backtrack for a moment. I believe in the ratios being the following. I'm going to have 15% of my allocation in gold. We're talking about physical precious metals right now. The second biggest position for me is going to be silver. Gold and silver historically are money, period. The other two metals here, platinum and palladium, they're not. They're strategic, they're industrial, and they're precious. And by the way, these two guys have outperformed these two guys in the last 7 years. No comparison. And they made no headline news. And even gold right now, still at an all-time high, is not making headline news. So let's backtrack here for a second. Why is Maurice buying Mercury dimes and he's not purchasing silver eagles? And I love silver eagles. I love kangaroos. Kangaroos are my favorite purchase, by the way. The reason being, ladies and gentlemen, when silver is out of favor, which it is right now from a demand perspective, the spot price is not the same as the demand from a retail perspective. Retail meaning when I buy, when you buy, all right? So the premiums, that determines when you buy and I buy. There's a lot of inventory, then premiums come down. If inventory is low and demand is high, of course, premiums go up. All right, so here we go. These guys right here, a year and a half ago, the spot price was 24 bucks and the premium for these was 14 to 18 bucks. I believe 18 bucks, okay? Watch this now. So this was 42 bucks. Today, the spot price is 30.85, add 310 to that. All right, so let's just round it up. Let's just say it's 34 bucks. At 42 bucks a year and a half ago, we couldn't hold these in inventory. Everyone wanted to pay a 75%, not everyone, I'm sorry, let me backtrack. The buyers of their greed and their fear and what they're watching out there, they believed it was better to buy this at 42 bucks than at 34 bucks. Those same individuals that were buying these at 42 bucks, I was contacting them and saying, this is now 310 over spot. Crickets, grasshoppers, whatever. They don't want them. What happens, ladies and gentlemen, is this is an arbitrage for me. What I'm going to do is junk silver. It has the lowest premium when silver is out of demand, all right? But when silver is in demand, it has the highest premium. Conversely, with silver eagles. So silver eagles right now with us, if you wanted to buy some backdated eagles, they're $5.99 over spot, and then $6.09 for current minted 2024 silver eagles. They're still a great buy right now because, again, silver eagles a year and a half ago were the same, 75% premium, 18 over spot. Everyone and their mama wanted it, all right? However, this is the time where the prudent investors come in. Not speculators, investors. They come in and they buy these right now. And so when, not if, when the demand for silver upticks, and this goes back to, and who knows, as the momentum for metals is growing, let's say it goes beyond 18 bucks on the premium itself. All I'm going to do is exchange this For kangaroos, most likely, in the last cycle here, there were three. During this process, kangaroos were no more than $8 over the spot price. 6 to $8, okay, versus $18. I'm going to use that arbitrage, and I'm going to gain ounces of kangaroos or whatever silver 1 ounce sovereign coin is out there by just trading these in. Now, the spot price did not have to change. Remember, the premiums go up because of demand, and when demand upticks, everyone wants junk silver and silver eagles, but the sovereigns of other nations are still low. So this is the arbitrage opportunity. Remember, the goal is to own as many ounces in weight for your savings. And this is my savings. The arbitrage works. Every 3 to 5 years, you can double your savings by just using the arbitrage. The metal price did not have to change. The only thing that had to change was market sentiment of physical buying and selling. All right. Paul Larson, thank you for points. This is your full-time job, or do you have a day job? Oh, Mr. Larson, Proven and Probable. We are 100% committed to the natural resource space. If you're just joining us for the first time, this is what I do all day, every day, period. And by the way, I forgot to reference this, or maybe I'll get to, let me finish this, and I'll reference the other part next. So the next precious metal for me, which is my biggest position, is right here. It is platinum. Platinum to me is the most undervalued proposition, and the fundamentals of it are astounding. I have, if you will, I can say I feel comfortable in saying this. God has blessed me with the discernment to identify sales. I don't know when the sale is going to end, but I'm happy with the sale and I continue to buy. Whereas sometimes we want the market to respond to us when it's time for us to buy and sell. So I've been buying platinum. It's my biggest position, hands down, the last 7 years. And I did it because the ratios between these two metals, platinum, I'll show this to you again, I'm sorry, platinum and palladium have exchanged. I want to now go and pause right here. After this live, I'm going to publish an article on my website. And a full credit goes to one of my subscribers, and I also want to call him a friend, Mr. David Page. And he gave me a resource yesterday from Sabanye Stillwater, where they basically outlined what is going on with these two metals, and in particular palladium. And it gives you a macro perspective for you to see from basically an unbiased source. They're just giving you their perspective on the macroeconomics for why this metal is going down, palladium. And I'm interchanging the two because they're cousins. They're closely related. But for every 10 to 15 ounces of platinum that I own, I'll buy an ounce of palladium, all right? Just to be transparent here. So I don't own a lot of palladium. However, palladium was, this was 8 years ago. Oh, no, correction, 7 years ago. Palladium was around $600. Skyrocketed to $3,200. That's not a move that gold has even made yet. Crickets. No one talked about it. We did, and what were we doing is we were exchanging our platinum ounces during that time, because platinum had gone from 1,800 to, during that time period, actually went to, it was around, actually around 1,800. Platinum had gone down. So we saw the ratios change between these two, and I unloaded. I exchanged these two metals for one another, and I added on to my platinum position. So the reasoning behind it, I've covered it several times, but the article is going to answer it from an unbiased source. But just keep it simple here, ladies and gentlemen. Platinum can be used in ICE, which is internal combustion engines, and so can palladium. However, when it comes to diesel, platinum is the one that's being used. When it comes to hydrogen fuel cells, which is going to be a big catalyst for platinum, it uses 2 to 3 times more platinum than the ICE engines. And palladium, again, does not move over there. Different melting temperatures. And again, the automotive industry, because I referenced that this is an industrial metal, both of these are, they have been exchanging recently again. They've been substituting palladium into platinum. So the proposition for both metals is compelling, but I love platinum more. 78% of it comes from South Africa. It costs them the spot price to get it out the ground. And that's a situation that can't last. So those are the fundamentals, at least from a very simple, simplistic standpoint of why I'm buying these metals. And if you look at the 5 metals that have moved the most in the last 7 years, it's number 1, rhodium. Number 2 is going to be palladium, and number 3, platinum. I didn't say gold and silver. So I think it's imperative, if you have a position in gold and silver, but not in platinum and palladium, I think you're missing out. I really think you're missing out. And of course, you already have in that regard if you haven't owned, because they've moved the most. I would not buy rhodium. The time to buy rhodium, ladies and gentlemen, is when it's equal to or below the price of gold. And now, speaking of gold, all right, 15% of my allocation in my physical precious metals portfolio is gold. However, if you're watching this and you don't own any gold, then I would encourage you to buy gold. It is the ultimate metal. However, the other metals, silver, and I'm going to actually, let me say it in the correct sequence. Platinum, silver, then palladium are a better proposition. And again, the opportunity for using an arbitrage as these move in price relative to one another. Usually platinum is above the price of gold. Right now, for every ounce of gold that you buy, you can own 2.5 ounces of platinum. That has not happened. But in the last 8 years, historically that is, that has not happened until the last 7-8 years. So I am loading up hands down. So platinum is about 45% of my position, then silver around 40, trickle in some palladium in there, and gold is 15%. Now, if you're an advocate for gold, like I am, but I'm not going crazy over it, and then I always encourage you to have a conversation with me before you make a purchase. And do not go to our website. Give me a call at 855-505-1900. That again is 855-505-1900. And you're speaking to me directly. I'm the only one that's going to pick up that call. If you go to our website at milesfranklin.com, sometimes the pricing on there will not be correct. I frequently have individuals contact me and say, hey, you guys are out of palladium. You guys are always talking, Maurice, you're always talking about palladium. And we have multitude of ounces, but for whatever reason, the website wasn't updated. The same with platinum. So just call me, all right? Make it simple. Just call me, all right? And if you're a strong advocate for gold and you still want to continue to add to your position of gold, I am doing the following. Yeah, I'm adding a little bit to keep the ratios the same. But if I'm really for gold, then I'm going to look at the natural resource stocks. They're not the same. Let me paraphrase that. They are not the same as owning the physical precious metals. This is the get-rich-quick card, if you will, when we now segue into resource stocks. And if you have any further questions, again, you're welcome to email me, Maurice at milesfranklin.com, and again, ask questions here as well. And I don't know if there's more questions, but that's okay if they're not. In January, I interviewed, and give me an example. I'm going to give you an example here of what I'm referring to when it comes to gold. So in January, we interviewed Goldshore Resources. Go to our YouTube channel, go to our website, it's there. And the price of the shares were 8.5 cents. They recently surpassed 35 cents. I hope that you watched and that you acted and that you sold. That information was given to you for free from our research. Other YouTubers that provide that information, they want to sell it to you. We give it to you for free. You can't beat the price, okay? The other thing is, if you are an accredited investor, I'm going to foot stomp this. You must contact me, period. We have identified finance opportunities that we are participating in that are being participated in by the most astute, serially successful institutions and high net worth individuals. Again, all it takes is a conversation with me, and again, it's for free. And so if you're an accredited investor, I compare my work with anyone's work. I'll stand by it all day long. Anyone that provides a service with the same information and they're charging you, compare them with us, and I think we're going to stand toe to toe, if not better than them. The only difference is our work is for free. What's not for free, of course, is when you make a purchase for physical precious metals. Know Thyself says, totally agree. Loaded up on platinum about 5 years ago. Know Thyself, I hope you did that with me. I'm waiting for a response on that. Very long investment to arbitrage like you with gold in the future. Thank you, sir. Sir, I'm assuming, sir, ma'am, sir or ma'am, I thank you for the feedback. But I would like to know Thyself, did you make that purchase with us? Because what I frequently see as well is that we provide the content, and then for some reason we want to reward my competitors with my insight. And my competitors are always talking gold and silver, and then when you contact them, what do? Anyone that's made a purchase with me can attest to this. They push you to the highest premium product. My obligation is to push you to the lowest premium product and to share with you what I'm buying. So I'm very transparent. This, again, is not a big purchase for me. I just had some discretionary income, but I just wanted to share with you the ratios. So again, this right here was roughly around 200, at that time when I made the purchase, probably around 250. Let's just keep it simple. However, platinum, $1,000. So, okay, slightly over the ratio of 15%. But again, I didn't have an ounce of gold here. What I had was an ounce of platinum and an ounce of palladium. And of course, the palladium was slightly more expensive. So if you wanted an ounce of palladium, by the way, before Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern, you can own an ounce of palladium for $1,265. 1 ounce of platinum right now is, we're having a special with maple leafs. This is not a maple leaf, this is a PAMP. Maple leafs right now backdated for $1,091. And again, the Mercury dimes, they're 310 over spot. So this is a great buying opportunity because the premiums are low. I have never seen a sovereign platinum coin at 79 over spot. And I've been selling precious metals now for 7 years, and I've been buying precious metals now for 15 years plus. Never seen that, no. So this is your opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. Again, if you're an accredited investor, I want to just emphasize this, foot stomp it. You need to contact me because there are a number of compelling value propositions, some public and some private, that we have identified that I believe merit your attention. It's not financial advice, but we don't just share a value proposition that we don't believe in. You're not going to be a partner on Proven and Probable if we're not committed to that company ourselves. We are buyers of these resource stocks, hands down. And I believe that the resource stocks, being fully transparent here, they're on fire sale relative to the physical metals, but they serve a different purpose. The purpose of the metals, again, one more time, is a savings account against fiat currency being depreciated. And again, it's not money that's being depreciated, it is fiat currency. I've also seen here, I see it all the time. When you're watching these other channels, and I know you watch them, and that's fine, and I'm just honored that you're here. But as you are watching the content of them, and they bring on someone that says the dollar is going to crash, please ask them to define a dollar. Because a dollar is 371.25 grains of silver. A Federal Reserve note is created by the Federal Reserve, which is not in the Constitution. So you have a non-government entity using the word dollar, but you notice when you look at the title of something, the title is always on the top, which is Federal Reserve note, but no one ever calls it that. We call it a dollar, but no one questions what is a dollar. So a dollar is silver. So if silver, the definition of a dollar is silver, and silver is going up because our currency is going down, how can the silver, which has never also, by the way, gone to zero, how can the dollar go to zero? Sophisms are lies that you've been told over and over again until you believe they're true. So the sophism is that your currency, which is not money, and your Federal Reserve note, which is not a dollar, that guy, that imposter, he is going down. Will he go to zero? Well, ultimately all currencies do. But money, gold and silver, are the most trusted financial instruments, period. And I do not want to be naked, meaning without my money. And the beautiful thing about this as well, ladies and gentlemen, is that this is analog. It can't be hacked. It's never gone to zero. It's got a proven track record over thousands of years. Every dynasty, every emperor, every king, every government, they've never beat these metals. This is your opportunity to make a generational shift, an ideological shift as well, and using financial terms properly and then applying them. You don't have to make a big purchase. The key is, if you notice, I stated I purchase every 2 weeks, and sometimes if I come across some discretionary income, there you go. I made a purchase right there. So that was in between the 2-week period. It's just being consistent and persistent. If you're going to follow someone, make sure you follow a leader. We have a proven track record here on Proven and Probable. We provide high returns on your investments, whether it's in resource stocks, and I guarantee you, no one beats us on the returns we've made on physical precious metals. If you're watching for the first time, if you're on our website, provenandprobable.com, you scroll down to the bottom, there's my call on rhodium. And everyone says, well, that's a one-time call. All right, well, were you a part of it? So the reason you're saying it's just a one-time call is you didn't realize the game. But no, we've made multiple calls. Go back to our call on platinum and palladium when we switched out. Go back to our call in 2020 during COVID when this guy dropped to 580. And I was interviewing Mickey Fulp, if I'm not mistaken, at that time. And what did Mr. Fulp say? He and I both stated, this is what we're buying. Now, what was going on other YouTube channels is silver, silver, silver. And they show flames on their YouTube channels and all that. We're not here to use fear tactics. We're just here to use empirical evidence. Mr. Larson asked, what vaults do you recommend? Do you see your metals in person? So to answer your question, great question, and thank you for the question. So these are going to my BRINKS depository account. If you're on my homepage, Proven and Probable, after this, you'll see a big banner there that says BRINKS, and it has frequently asked questions. So the answer to your question is yes. Let's just use this example here. Let's say I took this knife, I opened this up, and I engraved my initials in here. All right. Now I send this off to BRINKS, and I wanted to see my BRINKS account, which you can go visit, yes. And you can also have a third party inventory your BRINKS account, all right? That'll be on your dime. Miles Franklin, we have a third party also conduct inventory on your account. And then we also have BRINKS inventory your account, all right? So there's a number of ways you can approach this, but BRINKS is a publicly traded company. Their name is the preeminent name when it comes to safety and security in that regard. But when you go back, Mr. Larson, if you engraved your initials here today, let's just say you had let's just say a silver eagle, gold eagle, platinum eagle, it doesn't matter, and it has a year on it. When you go there 7 years and 18 days later, guess what? You open up that drawer, you're not going to see a 2029 coin. You're going to see your coins with this year's date of 2024 with your initials on it. We do no pooled accounts. That is a terrible, terrible trap for so many people. So a pooled account, not to insult anyone's intelligence, that's just saying, for us saying, we have this block of metal here and you get to claim it. Well, it's kind of like a bank run. If everyone tries to claim that at the same time, that company that was offering a storage service for nothing, basically like the first 4 years, here's a catch. They usually say there's a 4-year period of no storage fees. Why? Because they don't have your metals. You get a certificate saying that you have metals, but there's no metals there. What happened during COVID, great example, we were getting so many customers because they were irate with the experience they were having from what they thought was a reputable name. They were getting no storage fees. Then they wanted to redeem means get back. They wanted to redeem their metals, and they found out after being on hold for 45 minutes, let me put this knife down. I get passionate about this. Well, they found out after 45 minutes that it's going to take about 4 months to get their metals back. That is, to me, immoral that you were paying, even though it was free, and I don't know how long these individuals had their accounts, but that's immoral advertising, all right? And so what I would say is that in that same scenario, had that customer contacted me, it's just a text message. Maurice, I want my metals sent to me, or Maurice, I'm going to swap out a gold and a silver. Done. Done. It's that simple. It's just a text message. Anyone that's done business with me, that's all it takes is a text message, because I value your time. All right. But of course, if you have questions for me, I'm always here for you. But it's just that simple. There isn't a 45-minute wait. There's no ambiguity. And I'm always with you to correspond with you where we are in that stage of the transition of this just got moved out of your box, that got moved into your box, or it's being shipped to you. I'm with you the whole process. Again, anyone that's a client of mine right now. If you can attest to it, I greatly appreciate it if you're watching this. And I realize, again, there's a lot of people watching football games right now, and I came in impromptu here. But I wanted to address those. So I hope, did I answer your question there, Mr. Larson? And know thyself, I'm still waiting on your response. I'll wait here a couple of seconds. Okay, maybe they walked away from the video right now. So again, to make a call with me, conversation is 855-505-1900. To open up an account with Miles Franklin is very simple. You do not open up an account on our website. You contact me. Why? Because hackers hate us. Your information is not stored on our website. So just contact me if you want to open up an account. And then, of course, you can call me at 855-505-1900. Mr. Larson, again, thank you for the question. Know thyself, thank you for the content as well. And Mr. Larson, again, provenandprobable.com. You'll see BRINKS. You click on that link, and it'll answer frequently asked questions. The second link, of course, it shows Miles Franklin there if you're on our homepage. And the third one, let me not skip that one as well. The third one is, if you currently have a 401k or retirement plan and you're no longer with that employer, you can make a transition into a precious metal IRA, a self-directed precious metal IRA. Very simple process. For information on that, on my homepage, very big banner says New Direction Trust. Let me just walk you through the process on that briefly. So you're no longer with this employer, and all that happens is you open up an account with New Direction Trust. The funds, you'll liquidate your position where you currently have your 401k, all right, your retirement plan. And those funds don't go to you because if it comes to you, it's a taxable event. So now the funds go to New Direction Trust. Do you meet clients in person? Well, I travel frequently. If I'm at a conference, certainly, but we can certainly make a call and have a discussion. But I welcome the opportunity to speak with you. Zoom calls fine as well. I'm very easy to reach. Let me go back here if I may, Mr. Larson. So what's occurring here is in this process, you open up the account, the funds go there. You'll have to designate Miles Franklin and myself as your broker, and then you and I will make the transaction, the purchase for your metals. And then those metals get stored in a depository that you select, and then you'll get a monthly statement, an online statement that you can check daily with New Direction Trust. So you wouldn't purchase the metals through them, you'd purchase them through myself / Miles Franklin, all right? And I have my cat here, one of them. You need to watch out, buddy. Come on. Sorry about that. So the transaction, usually depending on the former employer or where that retirement account is, that's where the lag is because they don't want you leaving, correct? I've seen it where it took a day up to 3 weeks. But as soon as those funds become available and you designate me as your broker / Miles Franklin, then we can take care of your transaction for you. And so what you're able to do, this is paramount, by the way. Where'd I put that piece of gold? I'm a visual person. So here we are. Let's just say, again, so this is a sovereign coin here, right? This is made by this is a Britannia, and it's going to have a year on it. Again, same thing. It's not a pooled account. If you made this purchase today, you're going to have 2024 10th ounce gold coins. And in this example, that's what you purchased. When you go to get your physical metals, when you retire, you are not going to have 1 ounce gold coins from the United States if you purchase 10th ounce Britannias in 2024. We do not pool. These are segregated accounts. Here's a hidden caveat that I think is important for you to know. Within these accounts, your precious metal IRA, you're actually able to use the arbitrage of these 4 metals. And put this guy here, of these 4 metals. So right now, the ratio between gold and silver is about 84. So if I had a 1 ounce gold coin, I could also purchase 84 ounces of silver. When that ratio, if it changes, I like it between 45 and 54. That's a good time to swap out. However, what's actually happening in the real world, if you will, from a mining perspective, we're getting about 9 ounces out of the ground for every 1 ounce of silver. So the ratio is out of whack. But let's just say it comes down. You can just call me up and we swap it out. That's it. You're using that arbitrage. You can buy more by trading in your silver. You're getting more ounces of gold because the ratio has changed. That is how you're able to grow your wealth. And this undisputedly is wealth. Can't be hacked. The most trusted financial instruments. All right. If you don't have any further questions for me, I've taken up 40 minutes of your time. Please share this video. If you've watched it and you've gained some value from it, please, Mr. Larson, you got one more question, but let me finish this. Please give us a thumbs up if we've earned that, because YouTube uses algorithm, and if you don't give us a thumbs up, you don't leave a comment below the video, not just in this discussion thread, then they feel that our content isn't valuable. And I would highly disagree. Our content is extremely valuable. All right. Warren Buffett recommends the average man invest in the S&P 500. Why not stick with that? Warren Buffett is the best when it comes to buying stocks. However, what is not factored into his discussion, and I don't know when he made that comment, but what's not factored into that discussion is the currency. If your currency, and Mr. Larson, I don't know your age, but let me just give you an example. In the 1970s, you could purchase an all brick home ranch, meaning one floor, no steps, because steps take out 100 square footage in an average home. 100 square footage that you can only use for steps, right? That's it. And so you go back to an all brick home in the 1970s, a ranch will give you more yard, right, per home. Those homes cost $20,000. Fast forward to today, the average home now is a vinyl siding, not an all brick home, 2 stories with a little bit of yard. That home price has gone up. That home price from going from $20,000 is now, I'm starting to see $1 million, what I use the term loosely, $1 million homes, because they're not dollars, right? But we're starting to see homes go for $1 million that have vinyl siding. I'm sorry, I used to be a builder. Vinyl siding on a home does not equate to $1 million. That shows you that the currency is out of whack. So what is not factored into that discussion is, again, is where is the currency? And again, that what Mr. Buffett also shares is that he is an investor, not a speculator, right? So when he's looking at investing, dividends means you're investing. You're getting a paycheck on a consistent basis quarterly with the stock market, real estate monthly. And so I understand the premise behind his comments there. So did I answer your question there? But they're not the same. Money, gold and silver, have beaten every company that's ever existed. If you take every age, here's a great example. I'm sorry, Mr. Larson, I'm going on a tangent, but you got me excited. Take the age of every single company that has existed on the stock market, add all the years up, doesn't equate to how long this has been that have a value. Silver, gold, it can't beat it. If you look at and sometimes what's misleading as well is that you have to factor in, keep this in mind, when you look at the Dow is comprised of 30 companies and it uses a Dow divisor. And that's why, if you notice, this is measured in points, not in a currency unit. And the companies are interchangeable. Let's just look at the Dow, the companies that were in the Dow in 1914. They're not around. Look at the Dow in 1971. Look at those companies. They're not around. All right. So if you, again, sticking with the S&P 500 or any, what's the word I'm looking for? Index. Index. Look at how they're interchangeable. Okay. Look at the companies that are there. Whereas this is a constant. There's no variables. This is constant. What's a variable is your currency. So this is a savings account. Whereas the other one is an investment account. Two different separate items. If the stock market, they can close it, right? If the stock market goes below 1,000 points, the open market will won't allow it to go below $1,000. That goes back to Reagan, where he implemented that. All right, from the October crash in '87. So good point. Never thought of that. Thank you, sir. Well, then if I've answered that, then I won't go on further with what I was going to share. Okay. I'm passionate about this, folks. I love resource stocks. So I love stocks. But savings in metals is completely different narrative. What's interesting as well is, if you think about this, these are dimes. And I had a client recently ask me this. I want to show you how much your currency has been devalued. So I had a client recently purchase the face value, not to insult anyone's intelligence, the face value of these dimes. If you take is 10 dimes will be considered a dollar. In this case, it'd be correct because it's silver, right? Okay. And these are Mercury dimes. They were minted, by the way. Money is minted, currency is printed. Always remember that. So, Mr. Larson, here's an example. This one dime minted from 1916. Actually, you can go beyond that, but these were minted from 1916 to 1947. And after 47, they put Roosevelt on. But in 64, I'm sorry, they took the silver out. Okay, so now they're made of copper and nickel. Now watch this. Had a client recently purchase a face value of 44 bucks. 44 bucks of this. So that means, 10 dimes, 10 dimes, 10 dimes, 44 bucks, right? No games here. The price for it though was $1,000. Interesting. The difference between the currency versus the money. So one dime, it takes now 23 dimes today minted that are made of copper and nickel to equal the value right now of a silver dime. That goes to show you how pernicious and how duplicitous it is when you don't own money and they keep money out of the system. Because if you knew from a day-to-day transaction, if you use money versus currency, you'd realize there's something wrong with the currency. That's the reason you're here, because obviously you're realizing something intuitively is not right with the currency. So no fear tactics. That's just empirical evidence. I didn't say the currency is going to zero tomorrow. I'm not making any bold predictions. It's just simple. The national debt goes higher, which it will. Your currencies are going to go up. I'm sorry, your money is going to go up, and or the metals that aren't money, platinum, palladium, and rhodium, they're going to go up. It's just simple mathematics. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, again, I welcome your feedback. If we've been a good steward to you, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment. You have my phone number. It is 855-505-1900. This is Maurice Jackson, wishing you and your family the absolute best.